and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Charmaine, and today we are doing the review for One of Us is Back, a Karen M McManus novel. This is number 3 out of the One of Us is Lying series, and we read them all with book club here, which is the Page Turners Book Club. My friend Taylor and I ran it. If you guys don't know her, she is permanently down in my description box. She's also my best friend. I talk about her in pretty much every video I do because I'm usually doing a collab with her. But yeah, so we're doing the review today. I'm super excited about it. I have the questions here, and honestly, let's just get into it because I'm super pumped to talk about it. So how are you guys doing today? Let me know that first. Okay, did you read the book with us? Have you read all 3 of the books? We did actually do all 3 of them together for our book club here on the channel, and I loved all of them, but I'll talk about that more at the end because that is one of the questions. Okay, so question number 1 is, Nate's parents struggle with sobriety and regret not being there for him when he needed them. Should Nate fully forgive his parents and embrace their attempts at redemption, or is it wiser for him to remain cautious? I think being that both of them kind of, like, his dad had an alcohol problem and he always had to come home after he was in high school. Like when he was in high school, he was in school, class, whatever, and he would come home and then he'd have to take care of his dad, and his mom left to go and join kind of like a cult. And then so he has had very it's almost like he was like the parent and his parents were like children that he was trying to take care of, kind of thing. And I think he should be cautiously optimistic, but I don't think, not that he shouldn't forgive them. He should totally, it's up to him. I know he's a fictional book character, but in my mind, sometimes you can forgive the people who hurt you and sometimes you can't. But I think maybe he should be cautiously optimistic that they will actually stay sober and that they'll end up being in his life more and actually being there for him and a part of his family. So I think that that's what he's in actually mostly, is being cautiously optimistic. Because definitely 100%, he's every time he sees his dad almost, he's like, are you drinking again? Which I understand, you would have that feeling all the time, especially when you literally took care of your dad the entire time while he was doing all that drinking. So you would definitely have that as a, I don't know if I should 100% trust him kind of thing. But I think for the most part, you should be cautiously optimistic that hopefully they're going to be better, you know? Number 2 is, Vanessa apologizes to Cooper and Addie for her past bullying, showing signs of change. Should the Bayview crew readily accept her into their group, or should they be more skeptical of her intentions? So after high school, because this is obviously they're done high school, but they're still young adults. So after high school, you do realize people do change. People sometimes when they bully people in high school, hurt people. You know what I mean? So if they were bullying you, there's a possibility that maybe they were being bullied at home, or they had what they thought in their mind was not good intentions, but they they had just different thoughts in their mind. And really, teenage brains are not fully developed until they're 22 or something. I think it's that, 21, somewhere in there. So there's a possibility that she is actually being more, I don't know what's the word. She is actually redeeming herself kind of thing. But I also think I would not just readily accept somebody who bullied me ever into my friend group. 100%, I would be thank you, have a good life, bye. You know, and if I bullied somebody, I would expect them to do the same thing. Because it's a little bit weird to be oh, you used to torture me in high school, but now we're bros. I don't know. I would be skeptical. A lot, actually. Number 3 is Jake Riordan's entitlement and use of privilege to escape justice highlight the inequality of the legal system. Is it fair to judge Jake solely based on his family's wealth, or should individuals be held accountable regardless of their background? Yeah, you should be held accountable. Of course you should be held accountable. You can't just go and commit a crime because you're rich and then get away with it. However, it does happen often, which is also not a good thing. I'm not saying that that's a good thing. That should not happen. That's a terrible thing, actually. You should be if no matter what your social standing is or your background is, or the fact that you have money or you don't have money, whatever's happening, if you're doing a crime, you have to be expected to pay the consequences for that. And Jake is pretty bad. He killed the guy who it turns out is his dad. Oh, by the way, there's spoilers in this. There's spoilers in this video. I'm late on doing that, so if you are already here, sorry about that. There you go. But yeah, so there is spoilers in this video. But he does end up, he finds out that like the guy who he thought was his dad his entire life, like until he's in high school, is not his dad. And then the guy gets hurt and Jake goes and kills him. So like he's not good. He's not a good person. And then he makes Simon in the first book like end up killing himself. And like Simon was like his only friend in high school for a while, and then he ended up becoming like a jock, so he got like other friends, and then he like just ditched Simon, like he stopped being friends with him. Like there's so many things that Jake did that are bad that there's no redemption for him. Like he should have stayed in jail. The fact that the judge let him out because he is like influential or his parents have money or whatever is ridiculous. He literally murdered someone. He attacked Addie. Like, he would have murdered her. There's so many things. He's insane. I'm not a fan of Jake. Just in case you guys missed that. Number 4 is Phoebe keeps Owen's involvement in Jared's game a secret to protect him. Would honesty have been better approach, or was it justified for Phoebe to hide the truth to safeguard her brother? So in the second book, there's a game, and Owen ends up being a part of it, and he like pretends to be his sister, and then he like talks to like the bad guy, and he forms like a fake romantic relationship with the bad guy, like he's catfishing him kind of thing. So I don't think that she actually should have kept that a secret. Unfortunately, because she did keep that a secret, it led to like Owen having like a lot of bad feelings about himself, and like she ended up isolating because she was trying to keep the secret, and she didn't want to like explain kind of to her friends like what was going on, which I mean, like, she's trying to keep his secret because that's her little brother, and I think he was like 12 when it happened. But then there's an accident and like somebody dies, so like Owen blames himself for that, and she's trying to make it so that he doesn't blame himself for that, but then she doesn't really talk about it. But like the whole thing, like, she should have told her mom. She, like, her and her sister should have told her mom so that it would make it like, at least then, I mean, like, sometimes you need an adult to help you. Like, I'm 45 years old, and sometimes I need a more adulty adulter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I am not prepared to do the level of adulting that I need to do, so I need like another level, like my mom, of adult, or my friend Jen, because she's done like a lot of responsible things. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an adult, but I don't have kids, so I act like I'm 12. Not that I'm saying you can't act like you're 12 when you do have kids. That's not what I'm saying, so don't get offended, anybody. But I definitely, like, I have to redo my mortgage like this week while I'm filming this, so by the time you guys see this, hopefully it'll be done. But it's genuinely the most stressful thing I've ever done. I don't know why. It's stressing me out, like, very badly. So, I don't know. It's like giving me anxiety, and it was giving my boyfriend anxiety, but like neither of us were talking about the fact that we were having anxiety about it, so bad thing on our side there. But like, when we found the house, I originally found this house and we bought it within a month. Like, so it went really fast, and then we were in here and it was perfect. This is our first time doing our mortgage. We're both nervous about it, and like the mortgage rates are high, all of this stuff, you know. So like, I need an more adult. So like, I told my mom I'm going for my mortgage. I've been talking to my friend Jen, because she's also doing hers this year. So like, she's kind of like helping me with it because she's been through it before. Like that kind of thing. Anyways, that was a whole sideways thing. I just like needed to talk about it. So yeah, anyway, back to the book. I think that Phoebe should have told her mom for sure. And I mean, I know that she didn't want to because there would be like repercussions and stuff like that, but it would have been, her mom could have probably like helped figure it out so that it wouldn't be, because I mean, like, nothing super bad's gonna happen to him because he was a kid when it happened. But I mean, like, he's still gonna have to go to court, I'm sure, because there was an accident that ended in the loss of a life. Number 5 is Scott Rorden teaches Jake to value status and privilege, leading to the destructive behavior. Is Jake's downfall solely his responsibility, or should his parents bear some of the blame for instilling these values? 100% his dad should understand that he had a lot to do with that. He's mean to Jake. He is embarrassed by Jake. Like, he says, like, that's an embarrassment. He injures the man that Jake actually ends up killing, who turns out to be Jake's actual father. Like, there's a whole gamut of things. And then he gets him out of jail when he should be in jail because he deserves to be there. Like, the dad is not good. He is also not good. And obviously Jake got a lot of his attitude from his dad, stuff like that. So, yeah, his dead Scott Borden is not good at all. Number 6 is Phoebe keeps her brother Owen's secret, which eventually isolates her. Do you think keeping painful secrets is ever justified, or is it honesty always the best policy? Or is honesty always the best policy, even if it risks hurting others? I think to a point you should you should tell the truth. Like, if you're gonna specifically hurt somebody's feelings, you shouldn't do that. But I think, for the most part, just telling the truth. Like, if I do something wrong at work, I accept my blame. Like I'm like, oh man, that was my bad, sorry. You know, because if you accept your blame and you say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know, or I'm sorry, like, I'll try not to do that again, I won't make that mistake again. At least you're, like, accepting the responsibility yourself. But if you're gonna be like, oh, hey, you look fat in that shirt, or something like that, like, that's unnecessarily harsh. Even if it is, like, an honest point, like, you don't need to say something that's, like, gonna hurt somebody's feelings. And I think, honestly, for Phoebe, if she had told her mom, even if her mom knew and they, like, never did anything about what happened with Owen, I think that she would have had less of a being isolated kind of thing. And that's such a, like, young age to be isolated. Like, you're out of high school, you have, like, a small friend group, but, like, now you're kind of avoiding everybody because, like, she stopped being friends with Knox, who's, like, she's in love with. She stopped being friends with him. She, like, avoided him a lot, and, like, so, but she still works at the restaurant, so, like, she still sees them, and there's, like, a whole bunch of stuff. Like, if she had at least told her mom, she might not have been carrying that guilt so much, or, like, that, like, I can't risk having fun with these people because they don't know that I'm hiding a secret kind of thing. So, like, I think if she had at least told her mom, even if her mom did nothing with the information and said, like, oh, okay, keep it a secret still, but, like, I think that would have taken some of the pressure off of her, so it would have made it a little bit easier for her to not feel isolated and stuff like that. And it's a hard age, like, that's a hard age to be isolated in. Like, your friends are going out, you want to hang out with everybody, and you're just going to work and going home. When you're younger, it's, like, a hard age to be isolated in. Number 7 is Chelsea's actions are driven by a desire for revenge rather than justice. Do you think revenge is ever justifiable? Does it always lead to more harm than good? So I think, this one I have a hard one with. I hold a grudge like nobody's business, and I will remember it for years. I usually, you know, there's that word, that phrase, paybacks at me. I usually go, paybacks at me. Like, I know you guys see the bubbly side of me and it's awesome, but, like, there's a little evil gremlin in here that's like, ha! Like, I know that's terrible. So, I mean, you shouldn't get revenge on people. Like, I mean, I'm 45 years old now. I have calmed down a little bit. My temper used to be a lot worse. And it's not worth it. The whole trying to get revenge on people is not worth it. Holding a grudge for that long is not worth it. Like, I'm much better now at letting things go than I was when I was younger. I definitely still have a little bit of a temper, but at least I get over it faster now, kind of thing. So I don't honestly, like, it's not healthy to hold a grudge, obviously. It's not healthy to seek revenge. Both of those things are, like, not 100% what you should be doing, obviously. It is very hard, though, to just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna let that go. Because, like, even as I said that, I'm just gonna let that go, that kind of sounded, like, threatening in my tone. Like, I'm not very good at letting stuff go. That kind of thing. Okay, I just need to pause and I'll be right back. So, as we know, Chelsea is actually pretending to be Evie, who works at the restaurant, and she is also I think his name is Alexander Alton's daughter, who is the man that Jake actually killed. So, who's actually Jake's biological dad. So, she's like Jake's sister. So, she is holding Jake and like trying to get revenge from Jake because of the fact that he killed her dad, even though that's her brother. Now, are her actions justifiable? No. But Jake's out of jail. She knows that he killed her dad. She knows that he's a bad guy. So, like, maybe. So I had to pause it to find it. Okay. So it says, this is like Addie's chapter. It's on chapter 38 and it's page 328. It says, a full body tremor runs through me as I say, Jake killed your father? She says, and his, Chelsea says. And Jake says, he wasn't my father. Simon was lying. Simon never lied. And this time I don't look away when I say it. That's what Addie says. So, like, Chelsea knew that Jake killed the dad, but it took her a while to figure it out. But I mean, like, I think with that much, like, the rage of it all, the revenge is, I mean, like, you shouldn't hurt people, but the revenge would be hard to ignore. And Chelsea is a little bit, like, her mind has been taken over by the revenge. So she's not 100% herself, I think, is what it is. Like, she moves to Bayview. She pretends to be Evie. She works at the restaurant. She's always around, like, the murder club, listening to them talk. So she knows all their little secrets. She hacks the billboard so that she can set up the question about the new game coming. When Jake gets released, she kidnaps him and she's, like, holding him, like, she's gonna hurt him, kill him kind of thing. So I understand, like, where her revenge is coming from, but I don't think that revenge is, like, the best way to do it, even though I do hold a grudge. So, you know, I kind of understand it. Number 8 is Jake is portrayed as a character who never grows or learns from his mistakes. Do you think it's possible for everyone to change and deserve redemption, or are some people beyond saving? I do think it's possible for people to change. I mean, like, especially at this young age, because they're all, like I said, they're just out of high school, that kind of thing. The older you get, the more, like, you get wiser, you get more, I don't know, okay in your body, more confident in yourself, that kind of thing. So I do think that people can change. As to how much Jake would change, I don't know. Like, I can't say 100% that he would change at all, really. Because he is fundamentally a bad guy. He's murdered people. He doesn't care. He got out of jail because of the fact that he's wealthy. He's acting like he's had redemption or like he feels remorse for anything like that. And he's like, I just want to be friends with everybody. I just think, like, I'm really sorry that I hurt you, Addie. I'm just trying to be friends with everybody. But then, like, he, like, laughs at her and he's like, I would have killed you. Like, you know, like, that kind of thing. So, like, I don't think for him that he could change any. I don't think for him specifically that he could. Do I think that other people could, like, get redemption and change? 100%. Like, I mean, granted, Jake is a fictional character as we're talking about a book, but I do think that people can actually change. I honestly have read, like, series of books where people have changed throughout, like, the characters have changed throughout the books. So, I mean, it is possible. Jake is just not written that way. He is not going to change. He's rich. He gets away with stuff. He even got out of jail after he murdered people and attacked people. I mean, like, I guess they don't know that he murdered people. But he did, like, attack people. He set up the plan for Simon. So, like, and he got out of jail after all of that. So I think for himself, he never would have actually, like, he wouldn't stop. He would always get his way, kind of thing. So I don't think that he would change at all. Is he worth saving? Like, yeah, I mean, like, everybody is. You know, I mean, he's worth saving while staying in jail. But he is worth saving still. Number 9 is when Patrick loses his keys. That's Nate's dad. He says, Nate immediately fears the worst about his father's sobriety. Should Nate's reaction be considered a lack of trust or a cautious approach to past experiences? It would definitely be a cautious approach to past experiences. We do find out later that his keys were, like, stolen. And then, like, he finds them at, like, a place where he shouldn't have found them because he's already checked there, kind of thing. So then he knows that something's up, and then, like, the group kind of knows that something's up. But he does, like, I mean, I understand, because, like, we talked about, like, the sobriety thing. It's hard to trust people after they've, like, stepped on your trust so many times. So I could see it being hard for Nate to be like, okay, like, you lost your keys. Are you drunk? Like, I could see him constantly being, like, on edge that that's gonna happen. That would probably take a few years to get over, realistically. Like, even if, like, if his dad was sober for, like, 5 years, he would probably be like, oh, okay, and he could, like, back down a little bit. But I think it would take him a long time, right? Because that's what he was used to. Like, he would go home from school every single day, his dad would be passed out drunk, and then he'd have to, like, he'd have a job, he'd have to cook himself supper, he would take care of himself, because, like, his dad wasn't there to do it, kind of thing. So I think his reaction should be, like, a cautious approach, kind of thing, you know? Like, he wants to believe that his dad is telling the truth, but he is also like, maybe he did get drunk, and then this is what's happened now. That kind of thing. Number 10 is Reggie's immoral actions contrast with the kind image suggested by his mother's necklace. Does the duality suggest that people can be categorized simply as good or bad? Well, nobody is, like, perfectly good or perfectly bad. Like, everybody has something in them. Like, 100%. Everybody has good or bad possibilities in them. I mean, like, depending on the way that you grew up and the way that you were raised, you could be, like, super, super good, or you could be super, super bad, or you could be, like, a combination of both. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff now where people are trying to heal their generational trauma. Like, so if your mom got spanked and then your mom spanked you, then you don't spank your kids now. Like, that's kind of, like, the kind of thing that people are trying to, like, work on, is, like, not having that generational trauma go to their kids, kind of thing. So, okay, I had to pause filming and go back a couple of chapters to try and figure out what happened with Reggie's necklace, because I forgot. And because it says Reggie's immoral actions contrast with the kind image suggested by his mother's necklace. I can't remember that part, and I can't find it. But I do remember that his necklace was put into Owen's bag to try and set Owen up by Chelsea. And I know that Reggie was kidnapped by Chelsea, and then he ends up dying because of the fact that he fell over and he hits his head. So, but Reggie was not, like, he was not a good person, really. He would get women kind of drugged up, and then he would, like, videotape himself with them in the bedroom, kind of thing. And so he had, like, that kind of thing going for him. However, he doesn't deserve to, like, die. He should just be in jail. But I can't remember what with his mom's necklace. I can't remember that part. So I'm so sorry, you guys, because I literally read this last week, but my my memory is getting worse. But apparently it comes back. Number 11 is, was there any points of view that you missed in the third book? And, like, yeah, all of them, because it's like, it's Phoebe, Addie, Nate, and then there's, does it have anybody else? I don't think so. Nate, Addie, Phoebe. 6 years earlier. Oh, there's Simon. So Simon's kind of neat that they added in Simon, because it was 6 years earlier. I forgot about that. But it doesn't really, because, like, in the first one, it's the first Bayview 5 or 4? Bayview 5? I think it's the Bayview 5, because there was 6 of them all together. But yeah, so it has, like, all of them, like, each kind of has a chapter. And in this one, it's just, like, the 3 of them having chapters, I guess, and Simon. Like, Simon does have his own chapters, because he's in the past. So, it's kind of different having it that way. And, like, in the second book, it's Knox, Maeve, Phoebe. I can't think of who the other people are. Bad memory again. But so, it's a little bit different to have it be less people who have the chapters. Like, normally it's, like, everybody's kind of point of view kind of thing. But, so, I do miss, like, having more variety of the story being told by different people. But I still love the book. I thought it was great. So, the last question is, what are your overall thoughts on the book and then the series? So, I thought that this was a really good book. I am actually, when One of Us Was Back is, like, the title, I was like, who came back? And then I was like, my first instinct was like, maybe Simon wasn't actually dead. And then he somehow, like, staged his own death, staged them all going through that the first time. And then he's back. But no, it was, like, Jake coming back from, like, being in jail. Which, he is not a good person. Like, there's just, like, no way to say that. Like, no other way to say it. He's just not a good person. So, him being back was, like, not exciting. It just, like, wrecked everything. Like, it would have been better if he had stayed in jail. And I mean, like, the whole entire thing wouldn't have happened if he had stayed in jail. Because Chelsea was there to get him. Chelsea/Evie was there to get him. Like, because she found out, because she got a, I think it was a letter from Simon, or a video maybe, or whatever, from Simon saying, hey, Jake killed your dad. Like, so that's how she knew about him. And then she brings Gavin with her to be her, because like that was her ex-boy, or her boyfriend from high school, and then they break up when they get there, and then she like goes on this murderous kind of like trying to get revenge kind of thing. Like, I mean, like way too far. But the series as a whole is probably one of my favorite, I don't know, YA mystery series, YA thriller kind of series. We also read like The Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but I don't think that we read the rest of them. I think we only read number 1. I'm pretty sure that we only read The Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but we didn't read the rest of the series. Now I have to sneeze. So yeah, I think that we read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but we didn't read Good Girl, Bad Blood, or the third one, which I can't think of what it's called right now. But we did read all 3 of these together, and I know that The Good Girl's Guide to Murder was like Taylor's favorite series. She actually bought like fancy versions of them with like the edging and everything on them that are fancy. But I think I like this series better than that one. I just really like the characters in this. The mystery parts really, I think, are good. Like the twists and everything like that. I never suspect them. Ever. And then I'm like shocked when it's happening. They're so good. Plus, this actually, like this series, I think, pretty much got me into liking thrillers more than I like fantasy right now. So I kind of like, I mean, I'm still a fantasy girl all the way, but I'm really enjoying thrillers right now. So I really enjoyed reading this. I thought that this was a really good ending to it. I almost hope that she ends up writing like, I don't know, like a novella to go with it, or like a 4th one, like 10 years later kind of thing. Like, I don't know. Because I really enjoyed the characters. So it would be cool if we could hang out with them again in another book. I do enjoy it. So let me know what you think. We're not doing cast the characters this time because we've done that in like 2 of them. So we didn't end up doing that because we already have like our characters from them. But let me know what you guys think about the book. Did you read the book with us? Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy these kind of questions? So they ended up being like, there was like 3 different themes for them. I think there was like discuss like the inner meanings kind of thing, and then discuss the values or something. I don't know. It was something kind of different. And then I like kind of just took out the ones that I thought were good questions, or like easier for me to answer questions genuinely. But then it's like more not directly about the book. It's more of like your feelings about kind of things like that. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the questions. Thank you again to Taylor for finding questions, because I could not find anything. And I was hoping that they would be at the back of the book, because like this is brand new. But no, there's nothing back there. It's just the end of the book and acknowledgements and stuff. So you know, I'm gonna try finding more books with like reader discussion guides or whatever to suggest to book club, because I think it's a little bit easier for me to find the questions. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the book. Have you read this series with us? How are you guys doing with book club? Again, this is like our 2nd year anniversary while we're reading this in June, so kind of loving that right now, because book club is my favorite. If you guys don't know that, I talk about it all the time. So this was my baby, and I'm very happy about it. And then Taylor joined me, which I'm also very happy about, because it's much more fun having a partner. Yeah, so let me know what you guys thought about the book. Did you read the book? Let me know how your day is going, what's happening with June. Please go over and check out Taylor's video. She is much better at review videos than I am. Because my memory is like getting terrible. I honestly think that I'm gonna have to start like having the questions like ready at the beginning of the book, even if it like spoils the book for me, so I can like do my review right away. Because this has been like a week since I finished the book. I forgot half of what happened. Like, it's terrible. It is terrible. If I don't write it all down, or I'm gonna have to make like super intensive notes or something. Maybe that's what I'll start doing for book club. I'll have to make like super intensive notes or something like that, because like it's just not working out for me. Like, my brain just does not keep stuff in there enough. And I'm reading, because I always read like 2 books at the same time. So I think that also like throws me off a little bit. I don't know. So I'm sorry if I was kind of all over in this one. I mean, I like am a little bit, but anyways, let me know what you guys thought about the book. Make sure that you go and check out Taylor's video. Please like the video and subscribe if you want to, or don't if you don't want to. Check out my description box for other content creators. And I also have a list of Etsy shops down there that are Canadian shops, if you guys want to check those out as well. Thank you guys so much for spending a couple minutes of your day with me today. I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next video. I hope you guys have a good week. Bye!